Good evening or good afternoon, everybody. I think we're actually on time. Can you believe it? Um, so I hope you're all doing well. So we thought we would continue with the Kayla calls, which were pretty enjoyable. I thought last week. I think we had a good fun doing it, didn't we, guys?
Absolutely. Yes.
Of course. We must like him a lot.
We want to analyze him this long.
Kayla.
We were actually we're having a bit of a chat earlier, weren't we, Shin, about like, will we ever dry up of this bizarre Lorne obsession? Will we ever just wake up one day and just go, I'm fucking sick of all that? What was I doing?
Yeah, it's what made me realize it is that what do we do? Like 14 chapters so far of 1.5 days of the chat log, and I feel like we can go back and do it again.
I know.
You know, we haven't squeezed anything. We haven't squeezed it all out yet. You know, that's what made me realize it.
It's mental, isn't it? It's you know what's fun is because we all have when we're talking about the chat log, we all have our own kind of theories on what he was thinking, and everybody has a slightly different approach. And there's always something different to. We're talking about the chat log, and this is about the phone calls, but this is the same. Our favourite 30 days, isn't it? But we're always like speculating on, what was he doing? When was he going to the karaoke? What was he saying to people at work? Was he skipping when he went to work? Did he hang his photos on the computer? It's like, why do we care? What some failure pervert was doing 15 years ago.
There's not much speculating you need to do because he just tells you everything.
No, but there's certain the little mysteries that we're not sure of. Like, did he ever sing "I Love the First" in a karaoke bar? Did the woman really turn him off? Was he? Who else was he talking to? It's stuff that we would all use time traveling tokens on Lorne Armstrong rather than go back and watch a T-Rex devour a smaller dinosaur. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty nuts.
Quite debatable.
Yeah, so hi everybody that's in the chat. I bet you're very impressed that we're actually on time. I mean, we're good, aren't we? I mean, you must admit. We're really good.
But see us run for water. We're really good.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. I think a lot of you enjoyed going through the calls. I was actually surprised to see the comments of some people that actually have never listened to the calls in full before because they can't get through them because they're that cringeworthy.
Yeah. They are pretty horrible, but if they were with a real child, then I could totally get on board with that. But the fact that it's
didn't end up in a 5-year prison sentence.
Right.
That's what's important.
It's still cringy though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Extremely.
It's like some of the.
It's so funny though.
Yeah, it is. It's like nothing else, isn't it? It is a. It's. I just cannot find the words to sort of articulate how I feel about the overall saga and the total surreal nature of every element of the Lorne saga, from the chat log to the phone calls to the catfishing to the footage to his lawsuits. They all have a kind of unreality to them. It's like they're a cartoon, but they're in real life. It's like you can't. This isn't real. Do you know what I mean? It's like even when I was in court and I was looking at him, because you did feel that sense of there was that surrealness that I felt, and I was like, this isn't real. This guy's not real. This is bullshit. He's like some kind of bizarre clone that the government have created. You know what I mean? It's really strange.
It is like a reality show where everything is exaggerated with Lorne. All his, his outbursts, his emotions. It's his goofiness, his delusions, his sense of entitlement. All of it is so exaggerated, like a caricature. Just like, reality TV is. Whereas reality TV is created to entertain, to be big and over the top and ridiculous. That's Lorne's real life and real personality.
It's bigger than life because it's stupid and desperate. You know, it's real. It's, you know,
I think that people must understand the context of what I'm about to say. Lorne's kind of harmless in some ways. I don't mean he's totally harmless in that, you know, there was a real kind of victim there. But I don't think he had any physical contact with her. What I mean by he's harmless is, say you've got somebody who's a bit more of a bit more of a sophisticated predator who has a little bit more. He has a little bit more tools to his disposal to lure the prey in. Lorne doesn't really have a lot to offer someone, and he's incredibly stupid. He's broke, not very attractive. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah.
He's a monster, you know, of all the predators out there.
So he kind of has this kind of harmlessness is not the right word, because we all know under the right circumstances he would have, you know, asserted himself, whether forcefully, probably not, but he would have done harm to a child. That's the kind of person he is. But the thing is, the circumstances for that to happen, I don't think would happen. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So
yeah, his victims to see him coming. It's so easy to see him coming.
Yeah, so it kind of it makes it funny because he's kind of a bumbling. He's a little bit like the wet bandits from Home Alone. Do you know, like the kind of criminals that are just goofy and funny but never actually get anything done because they're too bumbling to actually accomplish anything. They always end up in prison. You know what I mean? So you can kind of laugh at them. It's a bit like Lorne's the kind of the wet bandit of the predator world.
Yeah, it would be great if Lorne got a hot iron.
Harry! How good is Home Alone 2? It's got to be like one of the best comedies ever, in it. Anyway, I've not even introduced you all. Amanda James is here yet again. And I have to sort of, you know, emphasise that it isn't the real Amanda James, unfortunately, because if it was, it wouldn't be me talking right now.
No, it's just me. Hi, nice to be here.
Well, we knew within 2 minutes of talking to her she wasn't real.
yeah, that Amanda James wasn't a real name, but it took Lorne 3 years and somebody else to point it out, which is just fucking hilarious. Oh, funny Lorne. And of course, Tiffany Lockhart has decided to honour us with her presence today.
I have.
We must be very grateful.
We're not worried.
And of course, my very good friend Shins Koala is here. Thank you yet again for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, without further ado, let's just go back a few seconds and listen to the call.
Can we put it on a chronology first? This is the second call.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's spell it out a little bit.
Okay. And William Fetters actually gave us information on this. This took place on October 6th. The first call took place on September 20th. That's my understanding. So that in and of itself, and we were talking about this before, is fascinating that Lorne was held off for 2 weeks on the phone.
Yeah.
Given what we know.
And it's a good point to bring up is that it is the second call, and as anybody that listened last week will know that he's a lot more comfortable now. We're in a very different. There's a big difference between the first call and the second one. Lorne has really established his position as the love of her life. You know, he really believes there's no danger. Well, he believes there's still a danger, but he doesn't. I don't think there's any fear that she's going to run off. And you know, sort of figure him out, basically, which I think in the first call there will have been some element of that, wouldn't there?
Yeah, you can tell in his tone. Because I think if we go back, I'm not sure where it took place, but when she said sorry, and he's like, what are you sorry for?
Mm-hmm.
He's annoyed at this point.
It's almost like he was treating her like a child back then, and now he's treating her like an adult.
Yeah, he kind of dropped the nice guy act, the very considerate.
Are you ever talking to me? All that shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Doing
it's
like
definitely
you do
different.
to a baby.
Now
Yeah.
it's you got to do this now. You know, well, when did he mention the CC card? You must like me a lot. That was the first phone call, I think. So that was part of that baby talk bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we got it set up now, I think, Andrew. But 2 weeks it's got to be a record for Lorne not able to talk to his imaginary girlfriends.
Yeah, I find that whole period of those 30 days incredibly fascinating to me. It's just, what a kind of grown adult is doing during that period and feeling good about himself because he thinks he's bagged a 13-year-old. It's just mental to me. Tiffany, can you read the comment from Dustin McFetcher's crippled nemesis?
Can you please tell me to shut the fuck up? My name is Trent. That wouldn't be nice. I can't do that on Andrew's stream.
Yes, you can.
You got to provoke her. You got to provoke her.
Yeah.
You know, get her.
You have to piss me off like Lorne did, and then I'll tell you.
And LV, you're right. This is going to turn into a number one on the billboards, man. With Lorne.
Yeah, who did that picture, Shin? Because I robbed it off the Church of God Facebook.
It came off Church of God. I don't know, and I wanted to credit to whoever did it.
Yeah, I apologise for anybody for copywriting somebody else's material because I'm clearly a thief. So whoever did that, thank you very much, and thank you for not reporting me to YouTube copyright department, which you would be well within your rights to do. Yeah. the Cornville Mafia.
It's a great picture.
Wouldn't that be great if the FBI saw this and knocked on Lorne's door?
That's fucking brilliant. I get stitched up for causing a riot. Can you imagine if they don't impeach Trump anymore? Lorne gets the blame.
Somebody should build the podium exactly like that and stick it in Lorne's shed and call the FBI.
That photo is great, but to be fair, my favourite sort of superimposed photo of Lorne is the one where he's running.
Yeah.
In the marathon.
Yeah, that's just so good. I'll bring that picture up before the end of the stream if just for
he had Kenya like by 3 or 4 strides.
It's just so good.
You know, he had
that one's on my fridge.
6 strides bigger than one.
Are you being serious?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that picture of Lorne in the marathon is on my refrigerator.
Wow.
I should probably take it off. I don't explain it. But I just say it's a joke. Just whatever. My son loves it though because it says "Where was you?" and he just
Blue Boy
thinks it's so funny.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that's a Blue Boy. It's so fun. I laughed so hard when I saw it the first time. I really did.
He's got one of the Olympic swimming when he's diving with the rest of you see that, and he's always wearing his dirty jeans, which makes it beautiful.
Yeah, it's because it looks like he's running out from the crowd.
Yeah.
And just interrupting the race, but he looks it's right before security tackles him.
He's
so happy.
Yeah, so he's got that goofy, giddy look on his face, just exactly how he looked when he walked into the Sting House. Is the same expression and you can just kind of hear him squeaking in excitement. Great picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring that photo up now because it's doing me head in. So
Lorne is actually the real life.
It's so good, that isn't it?
I don't know. Has anybody seen the movie Benjamin Button?
No.
Oh, it's basically a movie. Brad Pitt. No, it's a movie where a guy is born as an old man, and as he gets older, he's getting younger and younger. So by the time he's 82, he looks like he's 18, and eventually he turns into a baby and then dies that way. And the whole thing of that movie was that he needed to find somebody whose arms he could die in someday, a mother. That's like Lorne, and also the fact that he's kind of like morphing into a baby too. It reminds me a lot of him now. You guys should check that movie out. No, there it is. Rudisha.
Right, should we get going?
Yeah.
Sure.
If I was, you'd be naked.
Oh, right.
Really?
No way.
Yeah. Would you want to be?
I guess so.
Okay.
You see, I guess so is like not really, but I'm doing what you say because I'm dead submissive and I'm a child. Anybody with anything about them, but obviously they wouldn't have got to this stage anyway. But Lorne sees that, I guess so, as it. Oh, that means you definitely want to, and that's a green light for me.
Yeah. He hears.
Yeah.
He hears. He hears. Yes, I want to see your dick. That's what he hears.
He just doesn't hear no.
Yes,
Exactly.
He doesn't hear,
It's just
I'm
not
calling
now.
the police, basically. If he doesn't hear, I'm calling the police and I'm going to petition to have you executed, that's the green light for Lorne.
But
Yeah.
his okay is one of my favorites. The way he says that is so funny and stupid.
He
I
needs
love
to.
all of his.
Sorry.
I love all of his little squeaks that he does
Hmm.
between talking before and after.
Oh my god, they make me laugh so hard
Yeah.
right now for some reason. That
He's doing his
Lord's
best to get her to
squeakiness
talk
is really
dirty.
funny. Kayla does a couple squeaks too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
a
does.
kid.
Carefully.
She's 8 years
She has
old.
a few of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you want me to be?
He needs her to say this.
Of course I want to. Of course I want to be naked with you. I love you. Why wouldn't I want to be naked with you?
That's his. No, but as much as as cringy as that was, that's his honest truth, though. You know, everything's excusable as long as you have emotions.
Yeah, that's just a horrific example of grooming, though.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
if you love someone, you do what they say. This is what people who love each other do. It's okay, you know.
You know, adults in a relationship. You know, with the exception of an adult and a child. But yeah.
No, that's
Exactly.
a really, I'm glad you articulated that like that, Amanda, because that's what was going on in my brain. I don't mean trying to get examples of grooming for my own personal use, but I mean, that's exactly what he was doing, wasn't it? It was total manipulation, wasn't it, in trying to groom this child. And, you know, that's one of the elements of the Ola pornography that's fascinating from a sort of darker element of probably a lot of them is that, you know, these children have got malleable minds, haven't they? And they're there for the taking in that way, and that they can be, you know, they can be groomed and sort of, it's like mental conditioning, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of young victims have heard those exact words from their abuser.
Yeah. And that is the, you know, of course these phone calls are predominantly fun, but there is that element of it that we can't, well, you know, we never forget. We're not ignorant to those kind of themes.
Well, what makes it fun is we know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We already know the outcome. We know that this is not a child. We know that he's being recorded, and it's.
And 13 years later, here we still are.
Here we are.
Right. For his eternal shame, this is immortalized on the internet forever.
Just watching him fall into this trap. You know, that's if you always have to keep remembering that. I mean, in order to get through this kind of thing.
That's
And
what's
just watching
satisfying
him just
about it.
keep coming, motherfucker, keep coming. And he just doesn't disappoint.
No, he never disappoints Lorne, does he?
Never.
Well,
In this way.
disappoints his
Not
mother.
even when he was
Disappoints probation.
in open court, you would think he would disappoint and like kind of acts, you know, somewhat sympathetic or something, but he didn't disappoint there either. His liberty was on the line, and he didn't disappoint.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
Well, immediately coming out with, I just want to do my cooking shows and starting to cry is amazing.
I think he did that for me. I think he thought, I cannot let Andrew Burkett go all that way to America, fly thousands of miles to see my court appearance without some kind of grand theatrical performance. What do you reckon?
It's like
We should
Clarence
thank
Darrow.
him then. You should write him a thank you letter.
I would love to buy Lorne a beer. I'd love to buy Lorne a Bud Light and chew the fat with him. And just, how's it going, Lorne? So, who's catching fish? I mean, who's your girlfriend this week,
He's just boring.
I think
I wouldn't want to drink a beer with him. He's too boring. I mean,
he's too boring. Well, why the fuck have we been talking about him for about 500 hours?
That's part of the wonder of it all. How could we be interested in somebody who's so boring? I mean, this whole conversation that he's going through is boring. There's nothing this is things we've already covered, but I don't know if you didn't know who he was and had all this stuff and you sat down with a beer, you couldn't spend more than 5 minutes with him.
Yeah, that's probably true. But he's once you dig a little bit deeper though and see just how ridiculous he is. Like he used his opportunity to speak to the court not to tell them, I learned from my mistakes. I'm interested in participating in alcohol counseling or what the fuck ever. Instead, he used that opportunity to complain about how other people were mistreating him. People are making money off his name on the internet, as if the judge gives a shit, as if they're there to talk about the crimes against Lorne Armstrong.
Right.
They're not. And the fact that he tried to make a case for probation won't help me protect my reputation on the internet. His violation hearing is just
it really
ridiculous.
And Judge Woodcock's response to all of it was so beautiful. He covered
you are
everything.
Not the victim of your own crime. He put that in a way which we have been trying to articulate for years, and he just put it so well.
And people love their 13-year-old daughters. They don't like somebody like you coming along. And you're never going to convince people that you're a good person.
It was like he was the voice of the reasonable TCAP community member, because there are some out there which I do believe go a bit far sometimes, but we're not getting to that. But it was the voice of reason and you know what was interesting? There was no malice in him. There was no kind of...
Nothing.
He said at the end, good luck to you, Mr. Armstrong, and he meant it. He wants people to rehabilitate, and that's what you want a judge to do. I know some people are going to disagree with it, I understand, but you've got any human being when they were any decent human, when questioned, doesn't want a human being to be harmful, doesn't want a human being to have the potential to cause harm to another. So if he could be cured, we'd all like that to happen, and then he wouldn't pose a danger to anybody. I mean, you might not get the fun out of it anymore, but I would suggest that at this point, I think we've had enough, haven't we? Fucking hundreds and hundreds of hours of calls. Don't be fucking greedy is what I'm saying. But yeah, it was. We keep going on about that. We shouldn't go on about that court thing too much, Shane, because there's only us there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but it's hard to, when you start talking about, is he real? Can there be a person like this in the world? What did God create? If you believe in God, you can't help but go back to that event and see it actually unfold in front of you, and see that everything that he is on the internet and on paper is exactly who he is. And I'm still having a hard time believing that he's real, even after going to that court appearance.
It's a little bit like the Trump presidency, isn't it? You're like, that can't have been real. Surely not.
Mm-hmm.
Surely that didn't happen.
We can't go there, man.
No, you're right. No political. I apologise for bringing that up, but it isn't. It's a good analogy to make, I'd suggest. But anyway, let's crack on with the calls. No political stuff in the comments. I apologise.
Yeah, you don't live here, Andrew.
It's my fault.
Am I making you blush?
A little bit, yeah.
So your parents are supposed to leave on the 18th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll be gone for about 4 days.
Huh?
How many fucking times does he say that during these calls?
Way too many.
He has two ha's. He has that ha, and he also has the angry ha. So you were out with him all last night, huh? He does that ha. He weaponizes it twice.
He also has the completely dumb ha when he goes, huh? When he just sounds like some kind of mental guy. Well, I suppose he kind of is.
That's usually when he wants to hear something again.
That's what annoys me the most about it. I don't think that he didn't hear the first time. He just wants to hear it again. I think it's kind of a habit for him to say,
Yes.
Even if he did hear, it's stupid. It's annoying. He should work on it.
So if you were to say, no, I'm not going to tell you, then he would come back and tell you exactly what you said. Because he did hear it.
Mm-hmm.
4 days.
For about 4 days.
Yeah.
So
That's how long it's going to take you to get basically processed, sent to court, and prison, Lorne. 4 days. That's why it's 4 days, dude.
do you know what time they're going to leave on the 18th?
Oh, what time did the NBC segment start again?
No, but I'll let you know.
I would hope so. See, isn't it going to be a lot better now that I've quit my job?
Oh, God, yes.
It just comes out of nowhere. What the fuck is he talking about?
I thought about that all day. I'm so happy.
It just came right out of the blue.
In her head, like he is acting like he's continuing on a conversation that they already had. You know, like she didn't even know that he quit his job, and she's like, "What?"
No, didn't they say in the chat though?
It wasn't in the chat log that
I'm pretty
he didn't.
sure.
Oh,
it was.
he told his boss to basically go fuck himself.
I think he says that in the
Right?
call.
But he says that in the
that.
call.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he says that in the call.
Yeah, but
No, but I'm sure in the chat that it was mentioned, wasn't it, Shin?
yeah, it's a hell of a way to introduce that subject. You know, even things are going to be a lot better. What? Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, in what way? How are things going to be better now that you quit your job? And of course, Lorne means in terms of spending all their time online or on the phone together or whatever.
Exactly. Because his hours were in the evening.
Yeah, that fucked up his
So
game.
they wouldn't have as much time. Exactly.
It is a funny Lorne meme, if you will, the whole I quit my job thing. It's been mocked to him several times during the calls. We mention it all the time. We mention it to people in conversation that don't know anything about pornography. We write it in messages. It's become part of our life. It's bizarre, but it is funny when you think about it. It's like it just came out of the blue as well. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? It had no context for the conversation.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like he was continuing. You know, it's like 10 minutes ago they had just been talking about how he quit his job and things were going to be better now. Just the way he introduced that into the conversation was so abrupt.
It's like, okay, sing to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But he makes these reservations for her time in the future. You know, that's his big thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you're available. You know, that's his bliss doing this shit. You know,
I know
being
it's been said a million times, but just the absurdity of a 37-year-old man considering that the hours that he, you know, wants to work every day, taking into account the opportunity to talk to his 13-year-old girlfriend online, and that might interfere with his career plans. It's so weird.
And
Unbelievable.
You know, it shouldn't be lost on us that his gratification is completely in front of the computer rather than, you know, you can almost understand it. You meet somebody and you want to spend more time with her or whatever. Again, not a child. And that, you know, maybe your work was conflicting with something that you were infatuated with that was real. He just wants to spend it in front of the computer. You know, that's his end game. And then he plans on it. It makes her makes reservations for her in the future. Next weekend, I'm going to speak to you the entire weekend, so don't make any plans.
Right, I'm going to be available at night.
Right, his biggest fear is that she will replace him with somebody else.
Yeah.
So if he's not there to talk to her, to sit in front of the computer and chat with her all night, she's going to be chatting with somebody else, and that just cannot happen.
Yeah.
I think it's worth quickly mentioning. I apologise to whoever said it in the comments of the last video. that it's been theorized within Lorne philosophy that Lorne wrote down topics to mention to Kayla, and the fact that he comes out with random shit that's got nothing to do with anything, like things a lot better now, I've quit my job. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't know if he would have written them down.
That's too much work.
No, I don't think so.
Too much preparation.
You really don't like him, do you?
No, I just know the animal. I mean, this guy is not going to put any effort, into preparing for anything.
Yeah, I don't think he cares very much about the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Lorne is not. He's. Go ahead.
He just describes what he's doing. There's no like deep or interesting conversation at all. It's all very surface level.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have done better if he wrote down some topics for conversation.
What would they be?
Well, I don't know. What would you talk to a 13-year-old about?
I have no idea.
I'd love to see that checklist: Mr. Penis, Miss Vagina, quitting job,
Right.
my cough,
Being naked
white
together.
truck, bud, be naked.
Well, what does Lorne know about Kayla? He knows that she likes shopping. She goes to school. She has 2 friends, Jesse and Maria.
One's not a virgin.
One is experienced, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Ex-Derek.
there's
Dr.
the
Parents.
threat of Derek. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he never really talks about her parents. He never asks, like, what kind of doctors are they? There's a whole bunch of different kinds of doctors.
The questions he asked her, the times he comments about his parents, is he's considering them a rival rather than, he's interested in her life.
Well, I think that he's also considering them to be almost like an authority in her life. So obviously he's worried. There's not a single point in any of the chat log or the phone calls where he's thinking this is a sting and the police are involved.
No, not at all.
Totally agree.
His single worry is her parents. That's it.
We're losing her to someone else.
Sure, absolutely. But when it comes to him getting caught, because he knows obviously that he's doing something wrong here, it has to do with the parents finding out or her mentioning it to her friends and her friends tell somebody.
I'm beginning to think that he wasn't very worried about her parents. The way he always tested things, like have your father get a lock on the door, have your father get your white thong, stay up here in the computer with me for a ungodly amount of time. So, it's almost like he didn't look at them as a risk. Sorry.
Well, I think that he was worried about them. I think that when Chris Hansen walked out, he was thinking that was her father.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Well, he says obviously he's not, but I would have to say the initial thought was probably that's her father.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it really funny. It's almost like, I've been trying to think of how to word it, but like Kayla's parents are, they could very possibly be the same age as Lorne.
Definitely.
But in his eyes, they're the grown-ups.
What I mean? Weird, isn't it? That's weird.
Yeah. Picture him in that recliner, in that chair, when Chris Hansen walks out. Lorne immediately takes on this very childish demeanor. It's like a kid knows they're in trouble. Yes, his chin goes down to his chest, and he starts mumbling. It reminds me of a toddler being scolded. Did you draw on the wall? And then they kind of drop their chin down to their chest and look down and mumble. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how he sounded when he said, I didn't want to get her in trouble with her parents.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's exactly how he sounded. Yeah. His chin down.
I'm putting too much significance on his saying before you basically got him to change his mind, or at least let people think he changed his mind when he says children have feelings, children can fall in love too. And then he kept falling back on we had feeling for each other. It was always we, the pronoun was always we.
Yes.
And I, you know, you got to remember this is just shortly after that. In his mind at this point, he's thinking again, and I'm sorry I keep harping on this. As long as there's emotions, it will be acceptable. So
Well,
you know, when he
also, sorry, Sean.
No, I was just going to say when he asks her father's hand in marriage for permission or blessing, he will have no qualms. I don't think that he'll have any reservations about that. And the only reservations he'll have is, will her father think that he would be good to her, or normal ones?
I'll ask that question. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned this. Do you think Lorne gave much consideration or thought about the future? I know he like it was only Ralph and Laurie that existed in the future, but do you think he gave any thought to what would happen after their encounter? So Lorne goes to Bowling Green, and it's, let's say that, because in his head it's real at that point. Let's just say that he did the despicable act with Kayla. Do you think he gave any consideration to what would happen then? Like, parents, would they find out? Would he continue with the relationship? I don't think he really... Cause,
very little.
What do you guys think? I don't think he will have...
I think he would have wanted to kind of keep it like his existing relationship with an underage girl. I think he would kind of try to keep her on the back burner. But I don't think he had any intention of facing her parents, even if they kept in contact for 5 years and suddenly she was legal. I couldn't imagine Lorne knocking on the door.
I think that was
40-something years old, saying, "Hi, Dr. Moore, I'm here to take Kayla out on a date."
When she's 18, I believe that he would have had no inhibitions at all.
You think he would knock on the door and shake her father's hand and say,
"He would try"?
Hi, sir.
I think so. I think he's kind of a coward, though, so he'd probably recon about it first. Get some.
He is a coward.
Measure the temperature, whatever. But in his mind, you got to remember also his big thing about, you're 18 now and you can make your own decisions. You can have other people run your life. He would have that, embedded in her brain. So he would have control over her. Again, this is in that weird world. But I don't think her parents would be a threat to him at that point. I think if he went to the Sting house and raped her, and he would, first of all, that's an overdrive, Lorne, we've never seen before. We don't know what it would be like if Lorne had a physical relationship with somebody, a child in this case, and whether he would actually be doing more reckless things because he felt like he was overwhelmed with his love or whatever the hell he thought he was feeling. So we can't really imagine what he would do in that situation. But if he stayed on the same path the way he is right now, it would be what he said in the catalog. It would be, you tell your parents you're going to the mall and you're actually seeing me. You tell your parents you're sleeping over somebody else's house, you're seeing me. He would do that. I believe it.
Yeah, he absolutely would.
Yeah.
She would move into, she would gladly change this beautiful, ornate castle to go into some North Korean labor camp with him,
What?
I said, it's going to be a lot better now that I've quit my job.
He has to say it twice as well.
Why did you quit?
Because the guy pissed me off.
Couldn't believe he said it.
He tried to tell me what to do.
Yeah, because bosses generally try to tell you what to do, Lorne. That's how it goes in the command structure.
Tell me nothing, that I can't talk to other people that work in the building. I told him, I told him fuck himself.
Does that tell you that more than one?
stupid.
It wasn't, whatever he was doing involved more than just within his company, that he was actually possibly interacting with other people, other businesses in the building. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just an employee issue, a co-employee issue, but he was probably, there's probably many businesses in that building. He was probably like really weird to those people.
Well, I think another thing to consider too is that being in a call center environment, and for him having to be making calls, maybe he was disruptive. Maybe he was talking to people when he shouldn't have been. maybe interrupting their work.
Yeah, I think it was. I think his harassment was more than within his company.
It could have been if there were others there, but I also think it could have had something to do with his quota he wasn't meeting. Obviously, telephone sales is going to be very, very difficult, especially cold calling.
Yeah, but it's easier to fire somebody for non-performance than it is for this kind of shit. You give them that reason. You say, look, it's not working out. You're not making your numbers, blah, blah, blah. And this is how it works. You know, usually they got probation periods, maybe, who knows. But it's easier to do it for that reason, a business reason, than to actually say, no, dude, you're weird. You're creeping everybody out here. Get out of here.
Well, he could have had some kind of an interaction with his supervisor for that very reason, that you're interrupting people or you're talking to people when you don't want them to, something like that. But Lorne is also going to hesitate, I think, by saying, I failed at this job. I wasn't good at selling and they fired me. He's going to make himself the hero. Yeah. Like, this person was trying to tell me what to do. No, I'm going to tell him to basically go fuck himself and I'm going to leave.
That's what I find really interesting, is that he's showing off for this child. The way he said that was very, I'm a tough, cool guy. Nobody tells me what to do. I told him basically go fuck himself. I doubt he did, Lorne. I doubt it.
Well, I think Lorne had it right. I think his boss got a lot of complaints.
Well, we certainly would like to think that.
Logical.
Because I think that, like you guys were saying, when you were in court, you get a very strange vibe from him. And I've thought about that too, seeing him in person and seeing him interact, especially with women in person. It would be very strange.
Yeah, well, it's, again, he's goofy looking and whatnot, but it's more than that. It's once he starts interacting with you, we didn't get a chance to interact with him. Imagine that, Andrew.
We didn't want to, really, did we? Let's be honest. Just to observe him. Don't forget the prime directive, dude, which Tiffany violated numerous times.
Yes.
Yep.
I love it how we speak and then it's like something in the call follows on from what I've said. So I just said, oh, Tiffany violated the prime directive, and Lorne went, yep. You don't matter how many times you hear that, it always makes me laugh. Just it's such a fucking goofy way of saying.
Roy does that too.
I've not really heard Roy, I don't think.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you tried to tell me that who I could talk to and who I couldn't.
So what are you gonna do now?
I believe that.
Huh?
What are you gonna do now?
Good question.
I have a job interview on Monday for a car dealership, and I have my name in another place that's for handyman work, for like doing construction work, like carpentry and stuff like that.
Carpentry.
So, the one for carpentry, that pays like $17 to $18 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm hoping I get that one.
You know how many times I must have
heard... This is a child.
I know. Well, how many times I must have heard those words, though, those phrases from the calls, on the prank calls. Sometimes when I'm driving to work and I'm in a bit of a shit mood, I'll put the Lorne prank calls on Candid Fellows, and they always make me laugh. I just find the concept so funny and just annoying. Lorne's perverted calls are annoying people across the country. It's so funny to me.
But the car dealership, I can make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a year.
Yeah, that's if you sell cars, Lorne. Nobody is gonna fucking buy a car off you, dude.
Yeah, but does he have a?
He's right. This is classic Lorne, bragging about the potential of potentially getting a job that can potentially make such and such amount of money. And the fact that he's bragging, he's bragging to a 13-year-old. How
Lorne would be
I'm
like
like,
that
what-
car
what-
salesman that never got anywhere. Have you ever
What
seen?
37-year-old adult would talk to a child about money
I know.
like that? They have no
Yeah.
understanding, no interest.
No.
When I was 13, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't even,
Well, you
you know,
know
who
what-
the fuck
you
even knows what you're
understood.
talking about?
You understood what you needed to purchase something, things like that, but you wouldn't understand anything about career markets or
Of course
No,
not.
or hourly pay rate.
I still don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Right.
and,
I would
and
be entirely uninterested in talking about that.
Yeah.
As a 13-year-old.
and when he goes when she goes, wow, he goes, yeah. It's like I'm not exactly sure you know, whether he's bragging even further when he says that. But what was the other? Oh, can you imagine him selling cars? You know, it was brought up in the comment here. I mean, I don't think he owns a shirt and tie. I think you would have to do that,
I
right?
don't know if anybody's ever seen that Simpsons where Homer becomes a car salesman, and he tries to sell this couple this car, and he goes behind the glass and starts laughing at them, and then they can hear him talk, and the guy says to the woman, "I'm not shaking that guy's hand. Let's get out of here." And then he goes into the room, Homer, and says, "They'll be back." That'd be him. Like, no one's gonna buy a car off that guy. So
You know,
Why not?
NWAW skeptics said that he would be like Jerry Lundegaard in Fargo. I don't know if anybody saw that movie. I think his personality would be. I mean, if anybody, this guy was you know, extremely deferential and overly kind and laughed at his own jokes and that kind of thing.
Oh, he would definitely laugh at his own jokes.
Yeah. I'm picturing, have you guys seen the video of the guy who went to buy the copier from Lorne?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm picturing Lorne at work, at his job as a car salesman, and his dirty jeans and, you know, Walmart brand work boots and his smelly hat with a lit cigarette in his hand. Saying
Knocked off
fucking every other
$10,000
word.
price
Yeah.
without getting authorization.
Talk
Hey, you can have
about
that
how
for $20
fucking
too.
reliable this fucking car is, and he's just so not suited to sell
No.
anybody anything.
No.
Even the printer or the copier, whatever he was selling that guy. It's just the way he speaks and his whole demeanor does not inspire people to take out their wallet. I don't think.
No.
Or not based on what he's guaranteeing. Yeah.
I agree.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Never
I've
fails.
made more than that before, though. When I had my own business.
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. I still love you.
Huh?
I said that's okay. I
Does
still love
he,
you.
does he actually listen to what she's fucking saying? What? Why does he have to? Huh? What?
hear that
I
twice.
feel-
You kidding
honestly,
me?
Yeah.
I've got hold
Twice.
of my mic in a strangling motion, like I'm strangling the mic,
Mhm.
like it's Lorne's neck.
Very irritating.
Funny but irritating.
all the things,
Good.
all the things he wants to hear is "I love you," and to hear it twice is nice.
You better.
I do.
Good. I love you, too. So what are you wearing today?
Ugh.
What am I wearing?
Yeah, what are you wearing?
I'm just in a pair of blue jeans and a pink t-shirt.
Wearing what?
Ugh.
Huh?
What are you wearing?
Just a blue shirt.
You cut out a little bit. A little bit of static, so I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. This phone's goofy.
Phone's goofy.
Yeah. I'm just wearing a pair of blue jeans and a t-shirt.
Oh. What color panties and bra?
White.
White? You're gonna wear white until you see me, aren't you?
Yeah.
that
I
mean?
said I would.
What the,
I love
be wearing white till the next time you see me? What does that mean? You're gonna stay a virgin? What does that mean? I mean, is there
I think he likes that. I think he likes the white. Did he say that was his favorite?
Isn't white supposed to like signify like a purity?
It is.
Or child in the Sears catalog, wearing white. That's what. But is he saying? You're going to be wearing white till you see me because I prefer that, and that's how much you're devoted to me, that kind of thing?
I don't know. So. It's like like I said, he like puts thoughts into her head, or he imagines what she's thinking. So I don't know if there was ever any conversation about her only wearing white underwear until she sees him. I think he could have just kind of made that up in his head. And I think he likes the idea of Kayla thinking about him when she puts on her underwear.
I can only speak for myself, but in terms of undergarments, underwear, white is probably the last color that I would find sexy.
You know what? I didn't want to say anything, but I'm glad you've said that. It's yeah.
It's a very
right.
A lot of children's underwear are white for obvious reasons that you can bleach them. Children are children.
You don't see Victoria's Secret lingerie, and maybe you do, but special bras and everything else. They're different colors, but why? This is weird.
I think of like the packs of Hanes little girls undies. They come in a pack of like 10 or 12 or something, and they're all just white little cotton children's underwear. Are just not sexy.
He says, but I'll bet you're going to be doing this until you see me. Like, it's all on her. She is so driven to do this.
And that she wants to do it.
You're right.
That she wants to wear those for him because he said that he likes it.
Yeah.
So that's her way of having something from him, essentially, on her at all times.
He just wants to believe that.
I love you too.
Don't you wish you were here with me right now?
Yeah, I really do.
I really do too. That'd be very nice.
I hope so.
So we gotta be like really careful about doing this. Your neighbors aren't gonna be there either.
Oh no, there's only like on the side of me. It's a really small neighborhood. It's only like 4 houses.
Really?
Yeah, and like there's like this wooded area behind me. It's not a lot of woods, but it's a little bit. And on the other side of me, there's like this road, but I don't know where it leads to. But yeah, my neighbors are gonna be gone.
That's such a childish description of.
Yeah, he's just not on. He's not on high alert, is it? Any man that was on high alert at this point for deception would immediately know that something isn't right. But it's like you said earlier, Tiffany. He's not even. It doesn't enter his reality that this could be a setup. It's not part of. I don't think he's fucking weird, but he's just not considered the possibility. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a lot of predators that didn't even think about it.
But he's preoccupied pulling out information from what she's saying rather than evaluating the whole thing. Now he's going to talk about
your neighbors. How close are your neighbors? Are they right across the road, or?
No, they're a little bit.
You see, she's struggling now, isn't she? Because she might not have details of the Sting house, so she's just winging it, isn't she? Because unless she's got Google Maps in front of her of that house in Bowling Green, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck am I gonna tell him?" Because when he gets,
but I think she was
hard.
very convincing as a child. Maybe not a 13-year-old, maybe more like a 9-year-old, but she definitely sounded like a kid. What kid spends a lot of time thinking about exactly how close their neighbors are to them, or how much woods are around their house? Obviously, Lorne was asking those questions for stealthy reasons. He wanted to know just how difficult it would be to hide from the neighbors. Or actually, what do you think he asked the woods quote? And he asked about how much woods are around her house. What do you think he had in mind there?
Yeah, to park his truck.
Yeah, that I believe. Doesn't understand how reflectors work. Somebody goes by and sees these reflectors in the woods. What the hell is a truck doing there?
Well, he could park it. Well, I think he could be imagining maybe a side road. That's what I always thought. That he could park it somewhere and it would be hidden from the street, and then he could just walk to the house.
I was thinking he was thinking a getaway, so when he gets busted, he can run into the woods and no one can find him. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He does like to look at the woods.
They had the plan. They weren't supposed to be staying at her house. He was supposed to just be picking her up and going back to his
I think
house.
they're making it now, Amanda. I think they're making that plan now.
That's true.
I'm not sure. I don't know if they got into it in the chat log yet, but he's contemplating whether he's going to rape her there or at his place.
Right.
Well, they're not right across the road, but it's like the TV shows. I guess you have to yell to talk to him.
All right.
I know, I sound really stupid. Sorry.
You don't sound stupid. You sound smart. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, she's a genius.
You must be smart.
And a goddess.
Right?
I'm glad I am.
Huh?
I said I'm glad I am.
I'm glad you are, too. And you look very beautiful, too.
Thank you.
I'm making you blush, aren't I?
A little bit. So, yeah, my neighbors are supposed to go on a cruise. That's what I heard Mom and Dad saying.
But that's convenient.
What day are they leaving on the 18th?
So funny, isn't it?
Kayla is going to be the only person on that entire block who's going to be home. Everybody's going on vacation.
What is it? A mum and dad are going on a second honeymoon. The neighbours are going on a cruise.
Yeah, and didn't tell her where they were going either.
Yeah, she doesn't even know where her parents are going.
Yeah.
They don't tell me a lot of stuff.
If someone was to tell you, like the endeavours of like a sting operation and the sort of decoy, let's sit and wrote it down and said, right, the decoy kept getting the there was 3 different pictures of a girl used to try and fool the guy. They kept getting the address wrong. She kept stumbling on her words. She didn't have a very good character arc. Blah blah blah. There was inconsistencies in the story. You'd be like, no one would ever fall for that. There's Lorne for 5 years. He ended up in prison.
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Well, it'll be nighttime when I come get you anyway.
Okay.
Get you.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, it's an interesting choice of words. Come and get her. It's like sounds almost sinister, doesn't it? I'm gonna come and get you.
I was referring to Amanda's earlier. We didn't know at what stage they made plans, but it sounds like when he says "get you," he was going to pick her up and take her.
I think he always. I think he would have been way more comfortable bringing her back to his place.
Yes.
I don't think he would have felt good about staying at her place. First of all, there was Bud to consider. But also, he would be constantly afraid that someone would come and check on her, or, that would be terrifying. So.
You'll be ready?
Yeah, I'll be ready.
You're probably ready to come here right now, aren't you?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, well,
that.
That'd be really nice. I would love to have you here with me right now. Bud would love it too. Huh?
What'd you say?
I said Bud would love it too.
How's Bud doing?
He's doing good. He's sleeping.
Aww.
You want to see him again?
Yeah.
Get over here,
Will you
pedal.
pet him for me?
Will I pet him for you?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this.
Don't wake him up.
That's going to be pretty hard.
See if I can get this tail.
So, are you sure you want to come all this way
Is
to
that
see
Bud
me?
or your dog, Amanda?
Are you sure you want to come all this way to see me?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay.
You're only about an hour away from me.
Okay. Cool.
Huh?
I said cool.
Cool. There, I pet him.
You'll have that nailed
Pet him?
down thing.
Uh-huh. Thank you. You're so cute.
You're welcome.
So what time do you think maybe you'll get there?
I think. Well, do you know what time your parents are going to be leaving?
Not yet, but I'll find out.
Okay, 'cause do you know where they're going to yet?
No, they didn't tell me yet.
She could have just
They
made
just
it
said they
up.
were leaving.
I don't
For
like
like
she.
4 days. So,
They didn't.
I know, she's probably just stumbling, isn't she, a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's probably
very nervous. She didn't want to lose this fish.
Yeah, because if you imagine spending all that time, because there's a lot of man hours. I know the volunteers, but can you imagine the amount of hours that they put into that chat log with Lorne, and for her to make it, to say something. I mean, ultimately, if they knew Lorne like we do, they'd have just said, well, actually, what it is, they've booked onto the first tourist-operated trip to Mars. The first people on a honeymoon to go to Mars and spend a full month there, and Lorne would be like, "Oh, okay," you know what I mean? That's
Tell you
cool.
what time they were going?
She could have told them they were going to swim with polar bears for the weekend.
That is true. That is true. I think it could also be that this decoy is not the same as the chat log decoy, so it's best to keep it as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
That way,
She's
there's not going to be
contradicted.
any kind of so don't give too many details.
Yeah, not that would, like we said, if they knew what Lorne, how thick he was, then they wouldn't.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to get to this call, but I know everybody knows, so this isn't a spoiler alert. But when she says that she actually has a garage or doesn't have a garage, there's a garage confusion that happens, and she has to call Lorne.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do we?
And he wasn't thrown off by that. There's nothing that I think would have thrown him off.
He just kind of giggled.
Yeah. Because he thinks that she's stupid.
Yeah.
She's the stupid little girl. Like, how could you not know that you don't have a garage? There's just...
Well, she said...
if you didn't have a toilet in your new house, Tiffany.
That is true. It doesn't work.
Did she say she just moved in, though?
Can you just wait a little while?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll start working. And,
right. Have a seat.
Or so.
no, they don't tell me a lot of stuff.
They didn't tell you where they were going?
Lorne's brain's like ticking over. You can almost hear the cogs turning, going.
It's like his light bulb is shorting out above his head.
It's like a cartoon turtle playing violin in his head.
Yeah. And you can tell by the way that she said, like she doesn't know what she's saying either.
It's so funny.
That must be it must have been so bizarre to try to come up with this.
Well, actually, even if you find out that day, then that'll still be all right, because then you just leave me a message and let me know, or you can call me when they leave.
Okay, you want me to call you when they leave?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
That way, even if I'm not here, leave a message so that I'll know, so that I'll get the message. Then watch for a message on the computer from me.
Okay.
He's so redundant.
That way I can.
Yeah.
So the logistics are this: he's communicating her only by the computer and when she calls, but he can never call her. Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
I
Yeah,
think so.
obviously it must be.
So that makes it a little bit difficult. So he's got to kind of figure this all out. And that
And this
doesn't.
is nothing new to him either, because he didn't have his other girlfriend's phone numbers, at least the one that we know the
Or the
most about.
pictures.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When I get your message, well, see, I'll be staying. I'll stick right around the house just about all that day anyway,
Okay.
Jesus Christ. He
Because-
damn right he is.
because I want to see my girl.
Yeah.
I want to see you too.
And after you call me, then I can. It'll take me about an hour before I can leave here, but about an hour after you call me, I'll take and start going up to get you.
Okay.
To get
Okay?
Where are we going again?
Huh?
Where are we going again?
Down here to my house.
Oh.
To Nashville.
Sorry. I'm just so excited to get to see you.
I'm excited for you to be here, too. I'm excited to see you.
Hang on a second, okay?
Okay.
I think he also wanted to know where her parents were going so that he would know how far away they would be.
Yeah, of course. I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
Are they getting on a plane, or are they going to a
Wow.
hotel down the street?
Hey, I gotta go.
Are they back already?
They're not supposed to be, but they're kind of yelling at each other.
hear the stress in her voice?
Yeah.
They're kind of fighting.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she, that decoy? Really, really
Yeah,
good.
but it doesn't phase him at all. It doesn't fucking.
No, it's been mentioned before, there's no empathy towards the situation at all, is there? But that's just not the level he's operating on, is it? He doesn't care.
With each other.
He just comes back with a demand.
But how could you care about her? Because he doesn't know her. He doesn't. There's nothing there to. This is the.
Yeah,
this
there's
is the
nothing.
whole.
He's already created his own.
Yeah, there's no person there to have any affection towards. You know, that's the most amusing thing about it all this I love you and all this. It's like the cartoon character that is supposed to be a human being. It's bizarre.
So I better go.
Okay, we'll get right back on the computer then.
Okay,
Oh,
I
fuck
will.
you, Lorne.
Okay, I love you.
Yeah, it's like, God, man, don't be so fucking. It's like there's no ends. There's no end. There's no boundaries to this guy's fucking desperation, is there?
Yeah, so you can talk about nothing.
I know. It's like, you know.
Well,
Make
your
sure you
parents-
get back on there.
Yeah.
Just repeat the phrase. What are you thinking about? What were you thinking about last
Yes.
night when you were
What are
thinking
your
about me?
thoughts?
Are you anxious?
I love you too.
Bye.
Wow.
We know how often his mother says "I love you" on the phone to him. He must relish these times when somebody says "I love you."
I'm sure.
And she only says it in response to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, no, she said "I love you" anyway at one time when he said I quit
Hi,
the job
honey.
for
Oh.
honorable reasons.
I love you.
I
Oh.
love you too.
Oh.
God.
Oh, he's so
Okay,
happy.
what I gotta tell you really quick,
Love
okay?
you.
Okay.
Okay.
You can tell he's
On
smiling when he
Wednesday?
says that. Too.
Yeah.
Wednesday night we have to pretend like we're breaking up.
Right. What's the fucking what's the idea behind this fake break thing? Because I could never get my head around it.
The Yahoo police.
Right, but why did he think it was needed? I don't understand.
That's where the theories come in, Andrew. My particular theory is that he was talking to other people who may have said, "Hey, watch out for this," who may have been doing the same thing, or he told somebody and they said, "Hey, they keep track of this shit. You gotta." But he did have the delete the archives thing done ahead of time. He learned
Yeah,
it
that was
from
way
somewhere else.
at the beginning.
Yeah, he had to have learned this from somewhere else.
I think he's just fucking stupid.
Like when
Well,
he
there's
wanted,
that.
like his great plan to have her make a duplicate username just in case they lost each other and they could find each other. Oh, never mind, forget about that.
Is it that he thought that he was somehow getting monitored? He saw a warning signal, thought he was getting monitored by the police, or the real police, and then he thought somehow a fake breakup would get him off any kind of legal entanglements.
Yeah,
I
like
think
that's
it's-
weird enough, right? You fake break up with a 13-year-old child. Okay, that's like a built-in admission right there.
Well, I don't think that he was thinking that he was being monitored at that time, but he's thinking down the road. If something were to happen, if somebody were to find out about this, he needs to have some sort of like an alibi story, just like the alibi letter that the other predator brought with him to the house.
Also, this is the closest he's come to actually physically meeting someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
In all the years we've known before and all the years we've known since. So he could start thinking that, the risk becomes a little bit more real at that point, or at least he starts to think about it because it's actually going to happen to him. So this is a whole new ground for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when he told her to call Jesse after she talked to him, so his number wouldn't be the last one she dialed. I guess I always assumed that the whole breakup thing was maybe in the back of his head. He thought somebody might go to check on Kayla, and when they found she wasn't there while her parents were gone, they would start wondering where she went, and they would check on her computer to see, who she'd been talking with or whatever. And if she's got a boyfriend, then he'd be the number one, suspect. But if they broke up on MySpace in a clearly unscripted breakup, then it could possibly be him.
What the hell that would have went?
That'd be great if we had that too.
It just makes no sense. Whichever angle you look at it from, it doesn't make any sense at all, does it? It's like the crime's already been committed. He obviously doesn't know the law very well. He doesn't understand the internet monitoring very well. He doesn't understand shit. It's fucking bizarre in the extreme.
If you're going to cover your tracks like that, why make it we're breaking up? Why not make it
at least say it wasn't you on your computer and there was a party going on and there were several people using your computer over a several-day period.
He covers tracks so many different ways, but he does it where he says, all right, we'll start off with the premise where I'm having an inappropriate relationship with you and we're breaking up.
And they never did the breakup, right?
No.
That makes it even funnier. It didn't even do it. So not only was it the stupidest plan in history, but it didn't even have enough intelligence to see off the stupidest plan in history. Brilliant.
Okay.
We have to do that on Yahoo.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll go on. What is it? The MySpace I am, and we'll talk on there.
Such a bad.
Okay.
Oh right. Okay. So is that a hint to what he was doing? So they weren't going to finish. They weren't going to talk on Yahoo anymore. So he thought if he was being monitored on Yahoo, then they were breaking up. Lorne wasn't going to do anything, but they'll continue the relationship on MySpace I am. Is that
exactly?
That's what he was saying.
Maybe he's thinking that they could be monitored because of the archiving of the conversations, and if she didn't do it right because she's stupid, then perhaps somebody would be able to find out who he was.
And he does tell her right from the beginning to delete her archives, doesn't he? So he
does.
So, but yeah, he never suspects a sting operation or that the police are involved. So.
No.
I'm doing a bit of a lot. So what is the purpose of him getting her to delete her archives? It must
because of her parents finding out, and for somebody, he doesn't want anybody to see the conversation that was happening.
I'd be interested to know if he told, or whether he learned from that time. I can't imagine he had many opportunities to be in this depth with anyone.
Well, I think that Lorne is a very scheming person, so he's going to be thinking of his worst fear is that somebody's going to find out. So how can we make sure that doesn't happen?
And he does say in the interview, doesn't he, with Chris, is what I was afraid of.
Yeah, he says it immediately.
So it's been on his mind, even if it's not been at the forefront, because his kind of judgment has been overridden by his desperation, which is a continuing, if not the prominent theme in his life. So, he's probably spent a lot of time. I don't know how much time, but it's obviously been there at some point, hasn't it? Been thinking like, look, I could get in a lot of trouble for this, or it's definitely lingering, isn't it? Because as soon as Chris walks in, he's you can see the reaction on him straight away. He knows he's screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he doesn't know how he's screwed.
No, he doesn't. He just knows that this is an adult.
He knows
Yeah, that's it.
something's going
I
very
don't
wrong.
think-
The parents are supposed to be away, aren't they?
Exactly.
It could be
Who
a
is
neighbor.
this?
And how did Dr. Moore get hold of that chat log?
He's wondering,
And his dick pics too.
how did they break my
Kayla didn't delete her archives properly.
Right.
But of course, the brain's not going to have enough time to process what's going on and come up with theories. He's in shock mode at that point, isn't he? But we'll get into that when we go over the footage one day.
Then Thursday night, don't even get on the computer to get me. Just call me, okay?
Okay.
Your parents won't be home. Right?
Right.
Oh, right. So he's basically, just before he goes to the house, he's planning a breakup a few days before. And then they're communicating on MySpace so that he thinks that he's just trying to cover his tracks in some way. He thinks that if he stops the communication on Yahoo and somebody knows that Kayla's gone or something's happened, that they'll have a harder time tracing that it was Lorne.
Right. And I think he's assuming that MySpace does not have the same archiving capability.
Yeah. So, there's a sinister... I mean, of course, we know there's a sinister element to what he was doing, but, despite the hilarious fact that he never suspected a sting, really, he was aware of the legal implications of what he was doing, wasn't he?
Yes, he even says to her in the phone call, we have to be really careful about doing this.
Yeah.
Call me Thursday night.
So yeah, his fear, when he said to Chris, this is what I was afraid of, I think that's true. But he was afraid of getting caught or getting exposed. I don't think he thought for a moment that it could possibly be a sting or a setup.
Not a sting, but I think he did in the chat log talk about the consequences of what could happen.
Right, but he always thought Kayla was a real girl, 100% real.
If they don't leave yet, though,
I can't hear the audio.
Then
I can't either, Andrew.
Right, there's a lot of background noise going on in someone's mic. There's like bouncing then. Right, can you hear it now?
get on.
No.
You can't.
No.
Oh dear. Oh, we've had our first technical mess of the
Well, it was bound to happen sometime. Usually it's at the beginning.
Right, let me try again. Why is this not working? Right, okay. You all there, guys?
Yeah.
Right, let me try again. Can you hear that?
Oh, geez, I can't remember my name.
Yes.
Right.
MySpace. Yeah. If they don't leave Thursday, then get on MySpace and leave me a message on that so I'll know.
Okay.
Then we'll talk on there again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Remember all that, okay?
I will, I promise.
Okay. Are you... Huh?
I can't stay alone since they're in the living room watching TV.
Yeah, I know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Are you anxious?
Yes. I'm glad you're coming.
Are you anxious to touch my penis?
Oh, there we go.
Didn't expect me to ask you that over the phone, did you?
No, I didn't.
Are you?
I guess so.
And what does he want her to say? You know what I mean?
He wants her to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to touch your penis.
Yeah, it would be better if she actually came out and said it rather than just say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's pushing for. All those times of him saying, you know, what were you thinking about when you thought about me? And he even does it in the chat log. He asks her to say something really explicit. Like,
yeah, he said fuck. The word fuck.
It was
right. Yeah, he asked her to type, I want to fuck you, or I want you to fuck me, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's really disturbing. And the way he just disgusts me, the way his voice trails up. He's so pleased with himself, and you can tell he just feels like he's in control when he says, oh, you didn't expect me to ask you that, did you? The way he says it is so horrible. Like he likes the fact that he's making her nervous or uncomfortable or shy, or she feels insecure and inexperienced. Mm-hmm. That makes him feel really powerful, I think.
Control.
What's funny as well is that you guys who are listening to the stream at home, you can't see, but on our screen here we can see another picture of Kayla. You know, there's the one where she's by the swimming pool, and then there's the other one. Mm-hmm. And just like it looks nothing like the other Kayla. I cannot believe, and he even picks up on it and asks her a question in the chat and said, "You had that pretty little gap between your teeth. Why didn't you just put the photos next to each other? And any normal human being will be able to see that is not the same person." At that point, if you're concerned like Lorne is, he obviously doesn't suspect a sting, but anybody else in his position would have just knew that he was getting fucked over. Just straight up. It's like, how did he not? Why did he just ignore the fact that there's two different girls there?
I think he just thought, well, she must be one of them. One of those pictures must be the real picture of her. So,
well,
and he had already.
We'll wait and see.
He had already been through.
She said to him, "It's because you accepted it because you knew they were growing and developing, and they could change their facial features or whatnot." She didn't say exactly like that, but I believe that. I believe that he gave it some latitude because she was changing every day because she was a child growing up.
Right. You know? And I also think he had already been through the Amanda James situation, and photos were given to him that were supposed to be her that weren't either. So I think he'd been through a lot of situations like this where he's getting photos from people and the expectation is it's going to be them, but it isn't. So he's not completely surprised. And I also think when he was at the Sting house, when he noticed that she didn't have blonde hair, that and of course she looks nothing like the other two girls that he had seen.
It's so funny.
So there would have been a conversation. Who are those people? Why did you send me those pictures? You're fucking gorgeous. Whatever he's going to say. That type of conversation absolutely would have happened.
I love your eyes.
I love your eyes. Exactly.
I was staring at your picture for an hour. I thought you had
and
blue.
She didn't even. Yeah, and she didn't even have blue eyes either.
I think he used that as an opportunity to tell her that he had blue eyes. The way
I think he just doesn't really. He doesn't really care if the pictures are accurate. This is a pattern of his. It started with Amanda James, continued with Kayla, and it went on past Kayla. He would get pictures, or he was told he was speaking to someone, and then it would be revealed that actually that's not me. This is really me, and different pictures would be sent, and he'll still hang in there.
I wonder if he made little 4x4s and put it in his wallet and showed them to people.
Of Kayla?
Of anyone, any of his catfish.
Oh, of any? Oh.
Yeah.
I think well, I know that Tony and Wendy were told about Casey.
Well, what picture did he use for that? The old
The real ones, whatever was on her Instagram.
you mean the actual
Poor
decoy?
Casey.
Well,
Casey
yeah,
Boyle.
because that's who he thinks he's talking to.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What other pictures we're gonna get to him?
Oh, I don't know. Just accept anything.
Well,
I
we got
think.
pictures of Pepsi Girl.
Right. Yeah, that is
He's
true.
had a million different pictures sent to him.
No, he
Who
has.
even
You're right.
knows?
Yeah, but that was supposed to be Winnie. That wasn't Casey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Winnie and Casey were the same person, so it's
Right, and that's why. Yeah.
very confusing.
Why don't you just say yes like you do online?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let
See.
you go.
Okay, hurry and sneak your phone back out there so they don't know anything, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
Bye.
and wait a minute.
What?
Call Jessie and talk to her for a few minutes. That way my number isn't the last number that was dialed.
Okay.
Okay?
I can do that.
Okay. I'll be right here
Bye.
in front of the computer.
Okay.
Okay, I love you.
Love you
Of course
too.
you will.
Bye.
Bye.
Go outside and take your dog for a walk. Something.
Yeah, where
Jesus
else are you gonna
Christ.
go, Lorne? To your desk? That's it.
Chain her to hers too.
Right.
Hi, honey.
Hey.
Hey.
Always eating. Fuck.
Are you sitting in front of your computer?
Yeah, why?
I was wondering if you were looking at me. I'm eating a sandwich. I was hungry.
Well, you gotta eat.
Well, yeah.
What kind of sandwich
Shut
is
up,
it?
Lorne.
Bologna.
That's another thing that somebody wrote in the comments. That line where she says, "Well, you got to eat." That's something a 13-year-old wouldn't say.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't buy any ham or anything like that, so.
Aw,
Hello.
okay.
So your parents are gone now?
Yeah, they
Oh,
left at
honey.
4.
Good. Are you ready for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that meat.
Uh-huh.
Excited?
Yes.
Me too.
Cool.
Such a romantic. He's stuffing his face on the phone. Are you ready for me?
Cool.
Yeah.
But he's talking to her
I'll
like
just tell you-
they're getting ready to go to a birthday party. Are you excited? Me too.
Right.
They're going to Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Something when I was on the phone, and I can't remember what it was now.
Aw.
Oh, stay on the phone with me while I think.
Think really, really hard.
I'm trying, believe me.
So there's the proof he didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
Oh, you've just solved that riddle.
Can you
Yeah.
see me thinking?
Was it about you coming?
He's thinking.
I
Was
don't
there
know
smoke
what it
coming out
was.
of yours?
You're silly.
Got that
You're beautiful.
Oh, way to come back.
You're welcome.
He's like the cheesiest lines you could ever come up with is what Lorne's
Yeah.
doing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I remember what it was.
Okay.
It's more
Hang on a second.
he takes any opening.
Okay.
Let me finish my sandwich.
Okay.
How about if you put it down?
God's sakes.
No, he's such a douchebag.
Him and chewing.
Well, he has no manners. He'll
They were
cough
chewing.
in your ear.
Yeah.
He'll scream. He'll cough. He'll spit. He'll chew.
Smoking.
He'll kiss.
Disgusting. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me?
You must love this part, Andrew, when he's got
Yeah.
food in his mouth.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have enough gas to go there and back and there and back again.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna stay with you tonight and tomorrow night.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's gonna be here, so it's not really gonna matter.
Do your parents have a garage?
No, it's just, one side of the house and then the other side.
Oh. Okay. Where can we... How much wood do you have around your house?
Has he already asked this?
It's just a little...
She talked about it earlier.
Just a little
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about that road that you were telling me about?
You remembered everything.
Is that a wooded road or?
Kinda. It's just like your basic road. I'm sorry.
Well, when I get there, we'll see how much gas I have in my truck. Then.
He's such a winner. He doesn't have enough gas to get there. He's already like failed. It's like the first time he's ever going to meet his precious princess. Okay, I don't have enough gas. He's got a $300 credit card which he's run out of. He's not employed. He sleeps on the floor.
I stepped away for a second. Did he just ask her what about Bud?
I don't think so. Or did she?
And then.
I don't know.
Maybe if I have enough gas, then I'll bring you back here, and then take you back again.
Okay.
You're only an hour away, so it really shouldn't be that bad.
Okay.
So, and what about Bud? Do you want me to bring him? Because if I stay there, I can't leave him here and him not be able to go to the bathroom.
Can you get somebody to watch him?
He doesn't have any friends.
I think we get enough gas to make it back here.
Okay.
I'm gonna put $20 more in.
Okay, just as long as you're sure he's gonna be okay. I mean.
Well, I'm sure I'm gonna be okay. I'll be even better once I'm there.
No, Lauren, she didn't say you. She's talking about fucking Bud.
I know.
Yes. He's such an asshole. So in just the span of a couple minutes, he changed the plan. He says, I don't have enough gas to get there and back again, so I'm going to stay with you. And she's like, okay. And then he changes his mind. But the way he said, well, what about Bud? It's almost like you come up with a solution, 13-year-old girlfriend. You come up with a solution about what to do with my dog while I molest you.
But afterwards he says, she said, is Bud going to be okay or something like that? And then he totally just disregarded that and thought she was asking if he would be okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
I will be too.
Good.
What time do you think you're gonna get here?
I am thinking I need to take a shower before I go.
Uh-huh. I gotta take one too.
You haven't taken one yet?
No, not yet. I wanted to find out what time you were gonna be here.
I'm gonna take a shower, and then I'm gonna.
What the fuck is that got to do with anything?
Go put gas in my truck. Then I have to go to Walmart really quick to get them things so I don't get you pregnant. Because I thought that I got.
That's quite a big thing that he says, isn't it? It's like such a kind of blasé way of him saying it. It's like, it's like it's so dismissive, and I don't know. There's just something quite sinister in it. Such a lack of.
It's one of those things that if he would have been at trial, they would have played.
Good point.
It's a shame
that
it didn't go to trial. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
And he insisted for years, for a long time, anytime anybody brought up the point that he bought condoms that night, that was, further evidence that he did want to go there and he did intend to go through with it.
Bar every night.
And,
yes, I did have condoms in my
absurd.
truck.
He was just saying how he didn't have enough gas money. He was concerned about not having enough money for gas. And, he was worried about being able to get back and forth. And making sure his dog could go out, but he's going to spend his last few dollars on condoms that he didn't intend to use that night, even though he just told her, I have to go
Not
to
just
Walmart to get
a variety pack, like a big jumbo pack of it, you know? Could just buy one or two of them. And not only that, but how often was he going to use them? Didn't he plan on go skin on skin or whatever the fuck he was talking about? I mean, he really went overboard with, you're right, the budget consideration for the condoms versus gas. That ratio was a little off.
Well, every single predator who had a condom with him is going to say the same thing. I always have one because of diseases. You know, that type of thing. Do people really carry condoms with them?
In high school, I think.
Okay, in high school.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but, you know, nightstands and things like that, I think.
Yeah, of course. But if you always have them with you, they're always in your truck, what are you doing?
I know.
You're just fucking random people.
I like, you know,
I had like one.
Even when the pizza guy comes, I pick one in my pocket just in case, you know.
You never know. You never know what can happen
because of diseases.
Well, boys in high school would like always have one in their wallet or something. And if that was the case, then maybe that could be argued. Like, oh, I have an old expired condom. Do condoms expire? I think they do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have an old.
If they do expire, then I best renew mine.
I don't know what it means.
Lorne just bought the pleasure pack with the bracelet, the gift for the girl. How much more obvious could it be? And he will still deny it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to get down.
Okay.
Then I'm going to be on my way.
What time?
I am thinking probably by 8:30.
8:30?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. My cell phone isn't working because
I think right on
time on it, and my time ran out. So, just in case you try calling my cell phone, it's not working.
Okay.
So
he didn't have money to buy minutes for his cell phone.
No money for gas. No money for minutes for his cell phone. He's smashing it. This guy.
Yeah. But the condoms were at the top of the list on priorities. Condoms that he was not going to use that night.
It's just like, can any man in history fuck up as much as this guy?
How much are they? Does anybody know how much? I don't even know how much condoms cost.
Andrew,
how much is that pleasure pack?
I got you. I bought Andrew the pleasure pack.
He did. You know, it was funny.
How much was it, Shin?
I think it was like $12.99.
I've still got the receipt, just in case anybody doesn't know. Right, when Shin picked me up from the airport in Boston, he bought me some gifts, which were a tiara, a princess's tiara, and a pleasure pack of condoms and a silver bracelet.
Nice.
The exact package, though. The exact.
And a receipt from Walmart.
Yeah,
so they were about $13.
Yeah,
Think about that. The condoms cost almost 3 times as much as the gift that he bought her.
Yeah,
and you know
that just about says it all, doesn't it?
$13 worth of gas would go a long way too. You know.
Well, the condoms were for her pleasure as well, so that's part of the gift. He did get the pleasure pack. Yeah.
And he did it so he don't get her pregnant. So
right,
it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
I think what he did was his whole idea was to spend no more than $20 in Walmart, and between the condoms and the bracelet, he did it.
Yeah. So Shin, when you went to Walmart, I have to know, did you walk up to an actual cashier, or was there a self-checkout?
No, I wanted to go to not only looking for a woman cashier. I wanted
right. So you had a tiara, condoms, and a bracelet.
No,
a little girl's tiara.
The tiara came.
No.
I bought the bracelet and the and by the way, it was $4.99 too, wasn't it? And the condoms at Walmart. I had the tiara. Don't ask me about that.
And that was all you had?
That's
Well,
all
you
I
got up there, right?
I had barely enough gas to pick up Andrew.
And he was
Right.
using his credit card, his $300 credit card to buy it as well. And he did it. And he drove there in a white truck.
Lauren, every time Lauren talks about that bracelet, he specifies that it was a sterling silver bracelet. He
I
can't
know.
just say bracelet.
Right.
Does sterling silver go for $5 at Walmart? I don't know.
I don't know much about it.
Probably.
I think it maybe was like a nickel or I don't know.
It's going to be plated.
Stainless steel bracelet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sterling
Okay.
silver plated.
Lauren's mom's camel toe just came out of the price. Is that $8.99 for the? I think it was more than 8 count. I think it was 14.
I think it was. Yeah, I think he got the bigger box.
Yeah.
Ed, 40.
Did you finish painting your toenails?
Yep, they're all nice and pink.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
hilarious.
run and get ready, because normally it'll take me, like 4 hours after you get here to be ready.
After I get there?
I'm kidding. But I'm gonna let you go, and I will try to be ready when you get here, okay?
Okay, and what are you going to be wearing?
What do you want me to be wearing?
I just want to hear you say what you're going to be wearing.
Well, you know what color panties I'm gonna be wearing, I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah, none.
I guess so.
Okay, thank you.
I gotta go. I'll see you in a few.
Okay, why are you rushing?
I don't know. I'm kind of nervous.
Well, don't be nervous. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
you're going to see her
fine.
in 4 hours.
Are you
Get
okay?
off the phone.
I'm okay. Why are you
Yeah, it
rushing,
takes
though?
time to get ready, you fucker.
You don't have to rush. I'm waiting to see you.
Why, no. But let me finish my cigarette. Talk to me while I'm smoking it.
Okay,
Ooh,
I
that's
can do that.
Good, thank you.
I'm
Guess
sorry.
Guess what?
What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, you.
Good.
Oh,
Guess what else?
you.
What?
You're beautiful.
Glad you think so.
I don't know why anybody would not think so. So precious.
You think Buddy will like me?
Huh?
You think Buddy will like me?
I think Buddy will love you.
I hope so.
I know he will.
Bud loves kids.
He'll
Poor
be
Bud.
all excited and everything. And he won't want to stop playing with you either. But he's gonna have to.
Okay.
Imagine that. You know,
Okay.
little girl, get away
Tell me
from
what
the
you-
dog now. Let's go.
I can't imagine it, and
Gonna be
it's
wearing.
horrible.
I can't you just wait till you get here.
Oh, was it
Silly.
exasperation right there?
Well, she doesn't know what she's going to be wearing, so she can't answer it for him.
What color panties and bra I'm going to be
It
wearing?
doesn't really matter where Lon's concerned. She could say, well, I'm going to wear a ballerina's outfit. I'm going to wear a top hat, and I'm going to be carrying a single man's hat with a plum floating in perfume. And she'd be like, he wouldn't
Precious.
notice anything, would he?
I'm going to be wearing a
Sounds
fleece.
so sweet. Yeah.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Cool.
How was school today?
It was okay.
Always
I'm glad
makes me
it's
laugh,
over.
that.
Me too. I'm glad that my work day is over.
How'd that go?
It went all right. I was on the lull all day.
Below?
Yeah, the machine that I operate.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's so
I keep
funny.
on thinking like construction, those big pipe thingies that people stand on.
No, it's
What did she say?
like a fork.
I think she's
The
talking
big
about
pipe
scaffolding.
thingies?
The pipey thingies. I think she was
Okay.
talking about scaffolding.
Pipey thingies.
Cleft, only big, and it extends out and like a boom and all that. It's all construction stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry? I just told you
I
what it
don't know
was.
very much.
No, well, not many girls do know much about construction stuff. I didn't expect you to really know what it was.
Okay.
That's
I
man's
don't know.
work.
What's that?
Girls just know about shopping and painting their toenails.
Shopping, cooking, cleaning. Construction is for men.
A lot of stuff.
So what time did your parents end up leaving?
Huh?
What time did your parents end up leaving?
What time did they leave?
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Good.
Hang on a second, okay?
Okay.
She's in hell. I mean, it's this so close to this guy coming, and he won't let me off the phone right
sorry.
Okay. What'd you have to do?
I had to switch positions. I'm sitting down.
You sitting
My
down?
legs got cramped up.
Oh.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, how many times does she say sorry during the calls? It's not getting irritating, isn't it?
now. As many times as
A
he says
lot.
Sorry. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, did you hear
So
that?
when
She
you
said that? Look, go, Andrew, can you go back real quick? Listen how she says, I love you too. Listen how she says it. It's so draining.
What, you think there's genuine frustration in her voice there?
I think it came out. I think
Right, I'll play
South
it.
Africa came out.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. What'd you have to do?
I had to switch positions. I'm sitting down.
You sitting
My
down?
legs got cramped up.
Oh.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I love you.
I love you too.
Right there.
So when your parents left, did you have a big smile on your face?
As soon as they walked out the door, yeah.
Oh. I looked at my watch at 4 o'clock and I was thinking, okay, Kayla's parents should be leaving about right now.
You were thinking about it, huh?
Oh God, I've been thinking about it all day. I think it was.
He wasn't really going to
like
go.
9:30. I looked at my clock.
No,
and I was
he
like,
didn't want
God,
to.
I wish it was 5:30 already.
I've been thinking about it all day too.
Did it interrupt your schoolwork?
Kinda.
Kinda. What did it interrupt?
Well, he's at his best, right?
Just about everything.
I hope those siblings of Lorne's are very happy with their handiwork of not providing deviled eggs, meatballs, and macaroni and cheese. This is the result. This
I
monster.
didn't really pay
Do you
attention
hear?
today.
Oh.
Are you there?
Huh?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did she
Okay.
wish him a happy birthday yet?
I was gonna say,
Good
geez,
point.
Don't lose me here.
Oh yeah, think of that.
No, I won't lose you, but I really do have to get ready. I gotta take a shower.
I know. I'm almost done my cigarette.
Oh, that's my
Ew.
favorite
It
right
took you
there.
that long to get ready.
That is
Okay.
my favorite. I'm almost done my cigarette.
Oh jeez. We deserve some
Oh,
kind
I
of
see
like
it.
payment for fucking putting up with this.
He makes the cigarettes sound grosser than it is.
I'm gonna write to Lorne and ask him for some money and say, "Listen, dude, we had to sit through that fucking phone call of yours. Send me some money, dickhead."
I don't want to let go of your voice yet.
Oh, there's that.
You'll hear my voice a lot in the next few days.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just anxious about hearing it right now.
I know.
And I want to finish my cigarette and my cup of coffee before I get in the shower.
All about you, innit, Lorne?
Little bitch. Yeah.
You gotta do me a favor, though.
What's that?
Just before you leave, you gotta pet Buddy for me.
All right. Do I have to?
I love
Oh,
that.
she's evil.
Yes.
I
You
love
want me to
that.
I know I do.
You want to see me do it?
No, do it just before you leave.
Oh, okay. You'll be able to do it tonight too.
Never see
Huh?
him again.
You'll be able to pet him tonight too.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you have enough gas.
I'm quite sure I will.
Okay.
I've got almost half a tank right now. I've been putting another $20 in it. Should bring me up pretty close to full.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about the gas that'll happen next week too. So.
What are you gonna be picking me up in?
Huh?
What are you gonna be picking me up in again?
It's gonna be a white truck.
White truck.
White truck.
Okay.
Do that in a minute. You also sent a whole
Fucking peace. Hang on a minute. Oh no, this is a disaster.
What do you mean?
What are you supposed to bring in your bag? Quite sure I will.
Right, where was he up to, guys?
No, I won't lose you, but I really do have to get ready. I gotta take a shower.
We're up to white truck.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
What are you supposed to bring in your bag?
Have I missed some part out there when she was...
I
Quite
don't
sure I
know.
will.
Okay.
I've got almost half a tank right now.
Sorry, guys.
$20 in it.
I think we're up to about the right part.
Pretty close to full.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about the gas that'll happen next week too. So.
What are you gonna be picking me up in?
Huh?
What are you gonna be picking me up in again?
It's gonna be a white truck.
White truck. Okay.
Okay. So when you see me drive in, you're gonna be all ready to come out, right?
Uh-huh.
What are you supposed to do?
That's brilliant.
What do you mean?
What are you supposed to...
What was that?
If you did that, if you Andrew and Shin, if you guys were talking to a woman and that he came out of your mouth, wouldn't you just hang up and block her number and never speak to her again?
I do more than that. I'd consider chemical castration.
Yeah, I would like.
Sweet too.
I'd rather fart in front of her than do that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna be picking me up in?
Huh?
What are you gonna...
Listen to that again.
What do you mean?
What are you supposed to bring in your bag?
Overnight clothes?
Yeah. And?
And... Tell me. Remind me.
Your extra pair of panties.
My white panties, right?
Yeah, the ones that you're not going to be wearing.
I thought you wanted me to wear those.
I did, but then I changed my mind. I was like,
Okay.
I started having
They love
second
this
thoughts about
illusory
it, and I said,
control.
"Ah."
Yes. I changed my mind.
Okay, so I
So-
won't be wearing them, but I'll pack them.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
promise.
Thank you.
I think he
You're
wanted,
welcome.
did he want an extra pair that she was going to leave with
For her to
him?
leave.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so.
Really?
The chat log.
Because I remember him saying that he wanted to keep a pair of her panties, but she couldn't keep a pair of his
Right,
boxers.
boxer shorts. Right.
That's why she got the bracelet.
You imagine
What?
Kayla's mother cleaning her room and pulls out, Kayla, what are these?
Big, giant white boxers.
Dirty. Yeah, dirty, stretched out,
Shit straight.
filthy boxers. Yeah, with holes in them. From high school. Lorne's had them for 20 years.
Show them to your friends. And look at my boyfriend. My boyfriend's underwear.
Yeah, look at my boyfriend's underwear.
Ew.
Oh, by the way, I see a message here from Joked Her that Jesse Velez passed away.
Jesse Velez?
Really?
From
Wow.
Hansen versus Predators. Yeah, so I'm sure that we will see a video from Joey shortly.
No doubt.
Well,
And
if
that's
That's
verified.
two predators in one day, because you know Maurice Woolen's gone as well. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
I think
Yeah, I
I saw
saw
the date
that.
on there was the 6th of this
Mhm.
month. So
Yeah. Wait, Jesse Velez is the one with the orange shorts in the Jurassic Park
He was-
t-shirt.
He was really young.
He was
I
like
think
a
so.
conversate.
He was really young.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Was he the one that said ew?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he showed his
Okay.
own picture. Yeah.
When he showed him his
Right,
dick
right.
pic. Ew, I didn't mean to send that.
Yeah.
God, that was horrible.
Did you get that? Where's mine?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, where's my kiss?
Oh God, I
Is
hate
your
this part.
kiss?
Yeah.
I
hate
don't
when he
give good
receives her
phone
kiss.
kisses.
This
I don't
document.
care. I want a kiss. Kiss, please.
I've never given a phone kiss to anybody.
Huh?
I'm not good at phone kisses.
I don't care. Give me one anyway.
He doesn't.
Can it be a little one?
Okay, even a little one.
Okay.
I got
So
it.
that one?
I got that
Okay,
one.
good.
That was a pitiful effort, Kayla.
No means
Thank you
no.
very much. That made me happy.
Yeah.
The way he
You probably
receives
did
her
as well.
kiss.
Glad you're happy.
You know he's the kind
Are
of
you
guy that
happy?
if he ever kissed a woman, he'd do it like with his eyes
Hey,
open and
hey,
shit.
there's a question.
Ow.
There's
Stop shit.
here's a question, right?
Please.
Never mind the fucking
Sorry.
virgin debate. Has Lorne ever actually kissed a girl?
I say no. I say no. I've gone that
I
far.
That is a
So-
good question.
Right, here's a stream for
I
next
think he
week.
probably has.
I'm very happy.
Good. Me too. I'm going to be happier in about 2 hours.
No, you're not.
I'll be really happy.
No, you won't.
Me too.
God.
Cool. So guess
Have
what?
you noticed his laugh? He always goes, and then there's a little at the end of his laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
He starts his laugh off with, and then he ends it with,
Yeah.
I hope I got that right.
That's about right. Brilliant.
It sounded funny anyway.
What?
Are you in the shower yet?
Well, obviously
No.
not. You fucking
Okay,
moron.
well, go get in the shower. I'm getting in the shower too.
Okay. All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Yeah, shut up.
Watch
She's
for my
been
truck
trying
around
to get in the shower
8:30.
for half an hour.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Okay? And
All right.
when you see my truck, make sure you're ready.
Oh, shut up, dude.
I will.
Open up the door as soon as you see my truck so I can see you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, I love you,
Don't
precious.
forget to put Buddy.
I won't forget. I promise.
Okay.
Do you want me to leave my
It'll be
cam
the
on
last
until I
time we
leave?
see him.
You can if you want to. I'd like that.
Okay, I'll leave it on.
Go.
until I leave.
Go,
Yes.
go, for
Okay.
fuck's sake.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
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 God, that was painful at times, that.
I know.
Oh, jeez. Well, we got through it. Are you grateful, everybody in the chat, that we
We're not done.
we bloody
not
well
done.
are?
There's one more. There's
What?
You're joking.
The shower call.
the
The
shower.
shower call about
Yeah,
the,
seconds
about the
before
garage.
the.
How long does that
Don't be
last?
sorry. I love that you called.
Oh, we're gonna have to. Oh, God.
I'm
That's
just
okay.
saying.
We can pick it up next time.
Might as well get through it.
Mind you, he's in the shower right now.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, honey. You're in the shower with me.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
You're gonna think I'm really stupid.
Why?
You asked me about the garage.
Yeah, you have one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be bringing you back here anyway, so it doesn't matter now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got too excited.
Unless you want me to stay there. Do you want me to stay there or you want to come back here?
It doesn't matter. Either one.
It really doesn't
Huh?
matter.
You're right.
Either one.
Either one?
We went across state
Yeah.
lines. So
What about Bud, though?
Well, I guess we better go back to your place then.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
I'll
we'll
let you
do that.
go.
Okay, are you getting in the shower right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I love that you called. I was praying. I looked at the caller ID if it was
Yeah, that.
anybody else.
Like a cowboy.
He's so excited, isn't he? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer the phone.
That squeaking cracks me up.
It does for me too, yeah.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, Ed. After you get out of the shower, call me again. So that way I can get your phone number. So that way, on my way, if I want to stop and call you and tell you where I'm at, then I can.
I can go ahead and give it to you now.
Well, no, you can't 'cause I'm in the shower.
Okay, I'll call you.
Actually, wait a minute.
Think about how excited he is. You know, on his way, getting ready for his date. He's in the shower.
I know.
Probably
It's
got
happiest
clothes
he's ever
laid
been
out
in his life.
You know, it's just like, this is, whoa, this is going to happen. You know, it didn't really take much opportunity to pick out a decent wardrobe, but, you know, he's probably, I don't know, washing his balls extra. Who knows what the hell he's doing. But he's excited that this is happening, you know, and the wheels are in motion here.
Mm.
I'll walk out here wetter. Anyway.
That was a little passive aggressive, don't you think?
Okay. Oh, you stopped viewing my cam? It was my pen. It's a good thing you called back now. I just remembered that when I was in there. Okay, what is it?
You remember funny things in the shower. Okay, it's...
Yeah?
Come on, Kayla, tell us the number.
Yeah? Okay. I've got it.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, precious.
Bye.
So is that the last time they
That
ever
was
speak to each other?
That
That
was
was it?
it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he cried and cried.
Cried and cried. Wow. It was fun, but also I couldn't take any more of that. It was just fucking too much. Do you know what I mean? It's just the cringe levels are too. It's just too much for me to bear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her
I
laugh
feel kinda
is
nauseous.
a bit much to take too. When she's like,
Yep.
That
It's
makes me
good
mad.
though because it's
It
very it's very convincing. As like 13 is, I think everybody looks back on that time in their life and they're like, oh my god, I was annoying and obnoxious and cringy and
I don't.
awkward, you know. Well, not you, everybody but Princess Tiffany
He
Lockhart.
he wasn't nearly as graphic or disgusting as he was in the chat log.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the content, it was pretty mild for him. But just seeing it off the page and having him talk to her, even as mundane as it was, that was enough. I mean, that becomes even more cringy. You know, reading the stuff in the chat log is really outrageous and almost way over the top and kind of help, you know, your cringe tolerance.
It's easy to do with the chat log, isn't it? Because you don't have to listen to his voice. It's all there on the page, but there's no context behind it. And with the calls, it's all everything is written down, but even worse. And you have to listen to his really over the top tones and his pathetic, "Don't be sorry, I love you." And it's like, oh god. Do you know what the problem is now? Next time I read the chat log, I'm going to hear his voice as I'm reading it. And when he says "I love you," it's like, oh god. Because for some reason, whenever I'm reading the chat log, I always presume he's angry. Because most of what you hear from, I haven't listened to, you know, most of the catfishing stuff I've listened to is the Ramona stuff and the Tiffany stuff. But he's angry in a lot of it because he's being wound up. And I just assume that's what he's like. But obviously, in the Kayla sort of situation, he's all very schmoozy and "I love you," and he's like over the top sort of. It just shows he's got no. Do you think he's adapting? Because he doesn't speak like that to like Ramona, does he? He just cries all the time.
Well, he had no control over Ramona.
And to be fair, he's always drunk as well. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, we missed a lot of the Ramona stuff, or at least I did. The earlier stuff setting up
Right.
the relationship. They were nice to each other at some point, I imagine. So he
Had to.
probably did have a lot of squeaking and I love you, and
Well, Ramona
the
was
sweet
never
talk.
outly mean with him. If he was angry at her for living her life, not doing crazy shit like Winnie did or anything like that. Just being a normal person. Happen to have you have a conversation with a man and suddenly that'll set him off. But I don't know. This is so cringy that it's easier to read the chat log, even though that's.
I'm
much
glad
worse.
I'm glad we don't have to do that again. I'm glad we did it, but it was actually hard work. I found that towards the end. I just wanted it to fucking end. I'd had enough of listening to him. You know what I mean? It's like, right, we're done now.
Scarlett asked a good
Kayla's
question.
voice made it harder for me because she's not only does she sound like a very young child, she almost sounds delayed, kind of. She didn't know she had a garage. She doesn't sound like a 13-year-old.
Right.
She sounds maybe like a 13-year-old with the mind of an 8-year-old, which makes it all the more sinister and upsetting to listen to him ask her if she's anxious to touch his penis or, if you were here with me, you'd be naked. How could you say those things to somebody with that voice and that mentality?
Yeah.
I think the more dangerous stuff is when he tries to isolate her from her friends, from doing anything else with anyone else, watching her grades drop, basically taking over her life. All that stuff, the sex stuff is really disgusting, but the real time stuff that he's doing to her, I think is worse.
Yeah. It was interesting. It gives more context to the chat log next time we go over it. It's just, I'm glad it's over. So that's the end of that. But
Scarlett wants to know if anyone thinks that Lorne was wearing his Red Sox cap while he was in the shower.
Of course he was. As far as I'm concerned, he's wearing it right now, as I'm wearing mine. So, right, anyway.
Maybe not the Red Sox hat, but he would be wearing his headset. I can guarantee he would have that on. I don't know if he owned one at the time.
So that's such
He
a
did.
Dark, doesn't he? I love that
Thing goes everywhere with him.
Right, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for suffering suffering with me through that, guys. I do appreciate it.
A rare completed project.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. We got through it, and it was an extended edition today, so I didn't have to sit through it another day. So, guys, thanks for joining us anyway. Tiffany, Amanda, James, and Shin, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
And
you.
thanks to everybody in the chat as well. We've had a lot of people, and I'm sorry we've not been able to interact with you as much as usual, but it's just been, all of my energy has been focused on just getting through those calls. I kind of feel exhausted, to be honest, and don't forget, it's kind of like bedtime here now, so it's time for me to go. So, guys, thank you very much. We probably might get back to the chat log next week, or we have got some ideas for some other Lorne-related stuff coming up, obviously. So, we'll let you know what